Say, without a shadow of a doubt, it's the crunkest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. I got the queen, Demetri K. And I am the 5-star general. Say, man, we went to bed last night and woke up this morning and looked like somebody had to get off the pot, man. Donald Trump going to court. Let's see what happens. Let's talk about it, man. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in. You are the best audience in the world, and we always say that because we mean it. And thank you, because you could be anywhere else except listening to two strong black independents and a crazy Republican. So it is what it is, man. I don't have no news because I took the day off after 10 months of grinding and man, over 18 different races that I was involved in and only taking 3 L's last night. 15 out of 18. But that's okay because them people gonna come back and do what they do. But I thank everybody showed up tonight, and we want you to share this video. Please share the video as we got some commentary for you. The only news that is news is this election and the fact that it ain't over yet. I'm trying to understand that, but you know, I understand the process. I've been through the process as a candidate, and it's gonna be a minute. It's definitely gonna be a minute. Donovan, what's going on, my friend?
Yep, you hit it right on the nail. A lot of people are biting their nails, and they're not. This cat, I don't know what's wrong with him. He wants to be famous. In regards to Donald Trump challenging the election now, but the question is, if you look at it legally, when you go to the Supreme Court or you go to a court, you have to have a legal justification to go to the court that there's a problem, something that was irregular or whatever. If Donald Trump is challenging the vote count, the legal vote count, the Supreme Court or any court is going to say, well, you can't challenge the vote count if the vote count isn't finished. You just can't say, stop counting. Now, if he was saying, yeah, there's some illegal votes that came in after the numbers or after the day, he can challenge those if they were trying to be introduced into the election. But to challenge legal ballots makes no sense. And they just think that people are just going to roll over and do this. That challenge, I think, is going to be, it's just, they're not even going to hear it because it has no standing. So it's going to be a minute before we do this. We're looking at possibly another 24 hours. I think Joe Biden is 6 votes shy of 270. And it pretty much looks like Joe Biden is going to be the next president of the United States. We have a mass incarceration ticket representing the United States.
I tell you what, I understand vindictive people. I understand when you feel like you've been slighted. But to some, the chickens have come home to roost. You know, we had the Russians 4 years ago, and now we got this stuff on American soil. So, you know, it's kind of like deja vu. You know, Trump, they said the Russians helped you last time, and this time they say the Democrats cheated. The problem that I have with the whole thing is democracy in itself when it comes to the whole election process. You know, I know that I was cheated when I ran, and that bothered me, and it still bothers me to this day because that school system is hurting because of the representation that is in place at this moment. And you can best believe all day long, man, and I shut the phone down today. I mean, I needed a day off. I was tired. I didn't want to do anything. Went to the doctor, the whole 9 yards. Normal day for me. But I also, like I say, I understand the vindictive side. And what I mean by that is all of those that are sitting back saying, I did something on the slick. The election is over technically. They just need to count. I got away with it. No, you didn't. Because he finna sick them goons on y'all, bro. Every single state where you think you got away with something, if them people was in your business, you are going to have a problem. And honestly, for me, the whole process last night was going pretty well. I saw some discrepancies during the race that didn't seem normal to me of how they were doing things. But as I say, that's politics. It's politics, man. Politricks. And it comes with the game. So if you want to be in the game, some days you're going to have to take that L because you know how the game go. But Trump ain't finna go down without a fight. I'm telling y'all, he's not finna go down without a fight. And I think, this is just my honest opinion, not the opinion of my two co-hosts, I think that the Supreme Court is his friend. And if the Supreme Court is not his friend and they run the whole process, it's got to end up in the hands of Mitch McConnell and his side of the House. And that's where you're going to have a problem.
So good evening to you guys. You guys know we were on here for about 4.5 hours last night. We went the distance, and I too, like Donovan and Gary, was very tired this morning. Yeah, it was rough. And so here we are again. So as they all said, we're still waiting the day after election to see who is going to be the president of the United States in 2020 rather and beyond. And it is tricky, but I will say this about Trump challenging certain states. That's his right to do so. That is his right to do so. I think most people, especially with an election so close, I think they would do that. So I don't think, now obviously we know Trump ain't trying to go, okay? Let's just put that out there. We know he ain't trying to go because when he is a citizen again, he's got a lot he has to answer to. There's a couple of folks who want to talk to him. So it behooves him to stay the president of the United States, but it does look like, you know, hell, anything can happen now. I was just watching now CNN, and CNN, they said they're behind because they don't want to put the numbers on the board until it is confirmed. So that's why their numbers are behind. But it says it looks like Trump is doing better in Pennsylvania, which is 20 electors. So at this point, it really still is anybody's race. But I mean, it's Trump's right to do that, to contest those. I mean, if I was in his situation where the vote seemed like there was maybe something going on, I would challenge it too. Now, if for whatever reason it's not found in his favor, he needs to go. In my opinion, Trump needs to go anyway for a whole host of things, but it's his right to do so.
Yeah, but to challenge 203,000 votes, how much of a discrepancy do you expect to find?
Well, yeah, so something like that. But I think I'm not sure if it's Georgia where they're saying it's like 53 votes that are in question. Something about they got put onto a pile of valid votes, so somehow they got mixed in. And so, yeah, it's stuff like that. But again, it's his right to do that. Anybody, I would say this, you are a fool if you thought that Trump was going to say, well, see y'all later. Y'all know he don't never play. He is the dude, the kid rather, in the sandbox that's going to throw some sand in your eyes in order to get the advantages. So I don't know. Will we see have a definitive answer after tonight? No, I don't think so. I think he's going to tie this up as long as he can. But because like I said before, his freedom depends on it.
Well, and that is a true statement. His freedom depends on it because once he's not the president, they're going to come after him with guns blazing. I'm looking over at Harris County, for example, you know, where I'm from. And I will say, and I won't even think twice. I mean, me and y'all have had the talks behind the scenes. Y'all know what y'all did. Y'all know what y'all did in Harris County. And I pray that the chickens come home to roost. That's why I'm saying, if you think you got away with something, You need to go sit your ass in a corner and be quiet. Maybe see if you can figure out a way to take you a trip somewhere. Because if you don't, they are gonna come for you. In Harris County, the blatant cheating that went on, especially with our locals. Come on, man. I'm talking to a candidate, my girl Aisha, she won Lone Star College trustee. She's ran several times in her district. Them numbers never added up when she ran for city council. But Lone Star, you dog walk your opponent. Even she said, I know I got cheated back in them other races. Well, it's obvious that it happened. It's obvious of the people that were involved in it. And I think it's time for the federal government, because local government is not going to do it because you're involved with it too. I think it's time for the federal government to come through the door, or the state of Texas, and start issuing out these indictments and do what they need to do. You want me to be here. You say I'm a part of this country. I'm supposed to believe in democracy. There is no democracy in the election process when things like this go on. So if we are allowed to see this happen on American soil, then what the f I need to go vote for next time? Y'all know who you want. You know who you're going to put in there. The whole 9 yards. That is not democracy in my world. That's not democracy in my world.
Yep. Kenitra has a question. I thought it was a very good question. She says, why do we feel, you guys think, as to why so many Latino people voted for Trump? Now, I can say this here in California. We have Hispanics that come from over the border. They're not even citizens. Here in the state of California, you have universal health care. You have food. They'll give you a house. They'll give you everything as long as you write down that you're a Democrat. And you can have whatever you want here, because if you got a job, you don't get no help whatsoever. So the Hispanics come here and they hustle and they open up jobs. And so a person that has, that has their own business always follows a person that's talking about tax cuts. And that's a very, very big thing. And only in the state of California that I'm aware of, I've got 3 neighbors that live right next to me that aren't even citizens of the United States, and they own properties right next to me. How the hell does that happen?
Well, first of all, if Biden gets in and your children stay in cages, who the hell are you going to run to? Who the hell are you going to run to? Let me tell you something. These Latino brothers and sisters, they not dumb. They know exactly what they're doing. They leadership engaged them, especially in Harris County. They down with them like 4 flat tires. So they know exactly what they're doing. It is what it is. And I'm going to say this here. I'm going to give one of y'all an opportunity. And it's not going to be you, Kendrick. You say, I told you Champion didn't have a chance. But I put up Angela's comment. That ain't going to happen. I'm going to inbox you my number, and I'm going to change your fucking mind. If you got the nuts, you're going to dial my number. Because the one thing, I was talking to Isaiah Carey yesterday, and I said, man, I got something for you. I want to come on your show. And I want to talk about some stuff with city government. And I broke it down to him. He said, man, I've been hearing that. He said, but I'm going to tell you something. And this coming from a reporter, one of the best in the business in the city of Houston. When you say you got the goods, you got the goods, Monroe. Angela, I'm going to send you my number. I need you to shut the fuck up, man. Because you're speaking on some things that you don't know nothing about. When I say they cheated in Harris County, I will give you a 45 Magnum and let you put it right here. And if you can catch me in one lie with the proof that I have, pull the trigger, man. I guarantee you won't pull the trigger. But I'm going to give you my number, and I'm going to shut you up for good. There was blatant cheating in Harris County. And there are some good people that could have won those races. I know we want to talk about the big thing, but see me, I down balloted. I'm in tune with my local. You feel what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. And if you cool with that, there is no goddamn democracy. And we got to live here. Dimitri.
I mean, I believe there's probably some cheating on both sides, but cheating is as American as apple pie. You know, cheating is not a secret. They all do it, right? But as I said, it's Trump's right to challenge the decisions that are made. I think everybody should do it, especially if you feel like there was some chicanery going on with the results. I think you should do it. But I mean, to me, at the end of the day, like I said, I didn't have a dog in the fight, and I still don't have a dog in the fight. I woke up this morning in pursuit of what I'm always in pursuit of, making my life better. And as I've always said, and I'm a kid, I never hung my hat on two old white dudes to make my life better. So I feel like whoever wins, and as I said last night before we left out of here, if your candidate is successful, then kudos to you and good luck and all of that. But you still have to answer the question, how is that going to change your life? I can't tell you how many people I saw up and down my timeline acting like it was the end of the mother world. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, my life. What are we going to do now? And I just feel like a failure. And I'm like, is you high? Like, what is you smoking? It really? You mean to tell me fully fledged, like fully grown adults expected somebody they've never met to change their life and change it for the better? Like, what's wrong with you? Even if Joe Biden does get in the White House, how does that help you as Black people? If Trump stays in the White House, how does that help you as Black people? I want to impress upon anybody to answer that question per your candidate. How are you going to be helped as the operative words, Black people? How is that going to change our lives? The very people who have messed it up, how are they going to come and change our lives? And then they say, hold on a second. You say Trump lost, let it go? No, I think you know who the real loser is? It's you. You know why you're the real loser? Because you are hanging all your hopes and dreams on a very old white dude who has told you as a Negro, as my good friend says, need to grow. He's told you to kiss his white ass for almost 50 years. So you're the loser if you really believe that that man is going to go do something specifically for you.
Yeah, you on the national. Fort Bend County did not turn blue last night. It turned black. There were some very good African Americans. Bridget Smith Lawson is the new county attorney. My man Ron Reynolds, no matter how they tried to dog him, he went to war and had old 5-star behind the scene grinding for him. It wasn't even close. You feel what I'm saying? Eric Fagan. I lived in Fort Bend County and I dealt with police racial profiling every single day. And now Fort Bend County has a Black sheriff with common sense. There are cases that are sitting in that sheriff's department, like the little girl, you remember I took the case, the little Indian girl that was ran over in her driveway. And they just let the daddy make it. No. Eric, go in there and do what you're supposed to do. Do what you're supposed to do. Get that over to the DA so that he can do what he needs to do. See, there are qualified people that could get in there and be change agents. But I'm like you, Dimitri. Trump has not bothered me for 4 years. So it doesn't matter what he does on a daily basis. Joe Biden is not going to make my life better. No way, shape, form, or fashion. Win, lose, or draw, Joe, I would never shake your goddamn hand because I know who you are. And I'm not going to take that back. Am I upset that Biden may win? Fuck no. As long as you can help me make money, as long as you can help me have my health care that I got, I'm good. The problem that I have with it, I've watched these people spend their savings, their 401ks. You see what I'm saying? To give themselves a shot at running to try and help us. and the process is all jacked up and we take it away from them, there is no right in that. You know how long people went to war to get us to be a part of the process? And now we are at a point where we comfortable with the process being effed up and saying, oh, well, that's the type of stuff that comes back to bite you. Now, I know some of you Negroes that made it. I know you live out in the suburbs. I know you got the big house and a couple of cars in the yard. And what's so amazing is when I drive through your neighborhood in the daytime, neither one of them cars at home, you busting your ass just to be able to pay your mortgage note. I know because I was at home with 4 cars in the driveway, and I would do it on purpose, sitting in my driveway barbecuing when the HOA told me I had to do it in the backyard. So I see what was going on. You have your slice of the pie. You could give a fucking care less about the poor people, black, white, Latino, indifferent, whatever. But these are the people that will suffer at the hands of our failed government, this failed democracy that we live in. Donovan?
Oh, yeah, totally agree. I woke up this morning and, of course, I had my local elections here in California. Tired from the war zone last night. That was a record-setting night that we did. I'm glad we did it, by the way, because, you know, you guys tuned in here and we thank you guys for tuning in because you guys got a real opinion from people that are just like you. And you didn't waste your time with the continued sound bites. But I woke up because I had elections over here and a lot of the good candidates that should have won did not win. And that's because we have developers that have big money that certain candidate, but a couple of the candidates did lose. And a few of the candidates that didn't lose, I had to tell them straight out, they ran a damn good race. I had a candidate that spent $2,000 max. He got as many votes as the second place winner, who was backed by the sheriff's department, backed by all these groups. The Democratic Party of Moreno Valley gave this woman thousands of dollars, and he got just as many votes. So my thing is, we need to start now gearing for the next election, looking for some of these new people to run, these millennials. Get behind these people, encourage them to run, because you don't need $1 million to run. You can upset the system by going on these podcasts, by going on the hot seat, the war zone, and start talking to people, because that's what's going to make the difference. You don't need $1 million. You don't need to sell your soul. You can be who you are and still do what you got to do. But I want to address real quick. Her name is, and you guys are doing great in the comments. God, I missed it. Where is she at? Give me 1 second. Let's go. Cheating. Hold on. Her name is Art Scale says Trump brings out the worst in his supporters. Art, have you ever been a black man or a black person and say and tell somebody outright that you're not voting Democrat? Because if you haven't done that, you don't know what brings out the worst in Democratic supporters. They are worse than MAGA. Demetra, could you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Donovan was told today by, I guess, big time Democrat. She follows the show. I don't see her on here tonight. She told him, if you didn't vote for Biden, unfriend me. Unfriend me. But yet it brings out the worst in Trump supporters. Yeah, do you know how many names I've been called by Democrats because I wouldn't get on the Trump train? I mean, the Biden train. I'm not. Even though I'm not voting for Trump, I haven't had any MAGA people call me names, and that's, you know, my hand before God. I haven't had any MAGA people say to me the stuff that Vote Blue no matter who crowd has said to me. You name it, I've been that from their definition. But no, it ain't just the Trump people. It's the Vote Blue no matter who crowd too. Y'all just as crazy. If not, so in some cases, y'all worse. Yeah, like y'all have literally cut. Some of y'all probably cut off your own damn mama over a white man that will never even know you exist. You know, cut off your mama, your cousins, your sister. What is wrong with y'all?
I've been cut off. And get what? But I tell you what, they got some people on here right now don't like nothing I say. But you know what? Big Daddy got control of your mind. I'm like, right now. I control you right here, anime. And you're going to show up every fucking night. And you're going to listen to everything I say. And you know why you listen to what I say? You know why you listen to Demetri and Donovan? Because as much as you want to get on here and you want to gloat, you know goddamn well we telling the truth. You know goddamn well we telling the truth. Do I want my grandkids to go to a decent school in my community where I pay taxes? Yes. Why should my babies have to get on a bus and go across town to get a quality education when the people who are politicians are not fighting to make sure that our stuff is right? See, y'all that don't live over here or live in these types of neighborhoods, you don't get what's going on right now. You know, we have a right to bear arms. As much as people talking stuff about, you know, assault rifles, they need to be banned. Well, a goddamn 380 will kill you just like an assault rifle will. Nobody should be playing with those rights, man. You shouldn't even make an insinuation to play with our gun rights. Not right now. With what's going on in America right now, I'd be damned if you shouldn't bear arms. You don't know when that shit coming to your front door. So if you're a convicted felon, let me give you some information. Oh, well, I can't have a gun. Long as your wife got one in the house and somebody come up in there, bust that ass, they can't do nothing to you. See, you want to take the rights away from people, but then I look at some things, and I don't know if y'all thought about this shit. You want to limit the rights of convicted felons, but the one right you won't limit on them is when they get out, they still got to pay them taxes, huh? You still want them to do the same things that every other American has to do. But at the same time, you want to play with people's rights. I don't cut for that, man. I don't cut for that. And Angela, I'm big daddy to you. And that's how I'm going to address you. I'm your big daddy. I'm your big daddy. And I'm going to tell you this here right now, baby. As much as you want to gloat, you ain't going nowhere. You're going to show up every single night and look at your big daddy. You're going to look at your big daddy every single night. And I'm going to tell you the real, whether you want to accept it or not. And if you don't want to accept it, sit in your suburbs, because you know what? When this thing erupt, which I think it will with all this stuff that's going to go on, where you think they're going to go? Either downtown or to the suburbs. And guess what? The hood ain't coming to save your ass. Hide in your house with your apples and your oranges and deal with it.
Yeah. And again, are our Second Amendment rights about to be threatened? Maybe so. But guess who controls that? The legislators. The president can introduce it and try to get it passed. I highly doubt, especially y'all folks down there in Texas and in the South, you guys were born with guns in your hand. That isn't going to fly down there. But in regards to the election, people are always talking about, oh, we got to vote blue no matter who. The election's done now. Biden looks like he might get in there. So the question is, what do we get? Even the Super Bowl champions get a championship ring. The Lakers, they get a championship ring. Everybody that participated on a championship winning team gets something. It was reported today, 80%, once again, of the Black vote went to the Democratic Party, 80%. They projected that at least 5% of Democratic white women voted Republican. Once again, this is almost an identical 2016 election with a different outcome of who wins the election, but almost the same identical numbers. The question is, from this point moving forward, are we going to continue to vote in these same people and look outside our neighborhood trash, no jobs, bullshit non-citizens getting benefits and getting something from the very president of the United States. People who couldn't even vote for him are getting something, and we get absolutely nothing. The bottom line is this: you're a Democrat. Black people, we aren't monolithic, but for some reason, they think at 80%, we might as well be, right? I'm a person of means. Why the hell would anybody look at me and think I would vote for a Democrat when it isn't my pocketbook that the Democrats appeal to? Do you know how high taxes are here in California? You got to be practically rich to live here. They ran Demetra out of here. No, but you got to be practically rich to live out here. So we have to get to a point where we teach our kids, forget this party crap, vote your family, vote your pocketbook. I vote my pocketbook. I'm a recovering Democrat. It's kind of similar to being a recovering alcoholic. And I've figured out the game. I'm a free agent. Whoever's got the best deal, that's who I'm going to sign with. And that's what we have to start thinking moving forward.
Kendrick Owens said, I'd get rid of my assault rifles if it would stop gun violence. Kendrick.
Wait a minute, wait. That's your homie. Ain't that your homie from Jack Yates?
Yeah. You getting rid of your assault rifle is not going to stop gun violence. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. People kill people, man. But the question is in our neighborhoods, Kendrick, why are they killing so much? Is it your poor school systems that don't educate the kids, force them through 12 years of no education, and then throw them out in the streets? Kendrick, we went through school at the same time. Even if we didn't like it, we learned something. They gave us some type of foundation to build on. We had trades. We didn't have to go to college. We could learn auto mechanics at the school and come out a certified auto mechanic. You see what I'm saying? The girls, they had cosmetology. They could come out and have their cosmetology licenses. So these people that have these guns, they're survival of the fittest on the streets. But I don't think anybody should have the right to take away your assault rifle. You're not committing crimes. You're not committing crimes. And there's another comment that I saw. Hold on just a second. I'm looking for it. Michelle says Trump is on a suicide watch. No, he's not. He already knew this was going to happen. The thing is people don't want to accept the real. I keep telling y'all it's his delivery. Everything that's going on about them early ballots, this is why this man was preaching this, but he was saying it the wrong damn way. It's true. I don't care what nobody says. That doesn't mean I support him. I think he needs to go, but I don't like Joe. And that's all it boils down to. You see what I'm saying? I just believe in my heart that certain rights should not be messed with. Now, Joe, if you really want to change something, if you want to mess with the Constitution of the United States, can you do something with the 13th Amendment? Instead of messing with the guns, can you go fix that 13th Amendment that basically says that slavery will exist in the form of incarceration? Let's see if you can fix that, homeboy. Now, all you black people on here that's pro-Joe, can I get an amen? Because if you don't agree with that, then you don't need to even be watching us, bro. Joe is who he is. Trump is who he is. Trump is not going to go down without a fight. And somebody said something is definitely going to pop off. You must be kin to Moses because it's going to pop. It's going to pop. I'm telling you now. So be ready for what come down the pipe.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, as they were doing the recount in one of the cities, I think it was Wisconsin, white supremacists rushed into the counting booth to try to stop the voting. I mean, these people are trying to stop legal voting. And now this isn't our people. This is those people. And they're letting it be known that they are going to keep their guy in there if they got to take up arms. Now, as bad and bold as we are, and we got our little folks in our neighborhood claiming sets and all this other stuff and, running hard and, Crip and blood and all that other stuff. Now the community is being threatened or is in danger. Where are these guys? Where are these guys? So we can show them, you know what? We got our army too. And I'm very sure they're going to show up when, you know, the time needs to be shown up. But these white folks, I was looking at the news and you're seeing these little, you know, dwarf white women, you know, stop the count, stop the count. This is democracy as they see it. Their democracy doesn't include us. If you look at early space movies of the 1950s and 60s, look at Star Wars. Until they brought Billy D. Williams in, you didn't even think there was black people in space. This is their America that does not include us. And that is where we're at. And that's what we have to do. Nobody is going to come save us. If you guys out there think that Joe Biden is going to take time to draft legislation for black people specifically, or try to do a plan, he's not going to do that. He's coming in with the same Obama attitude. I've got to rebuild the economy. For who? White folks to make millions. Are you guys aware more millionaires were made in 8 years under Obama, white millionaires, than any time in United States history? This guy Biden is going to come in here, nothing for black people, no plan, doesn't care. He is there. What did he say? He even said this. We got to build the middle class. Don't get me wrong. A few of us are middle class. The majority of us are underclass. Okay. We are a permanent underclass. So he's not talking to us. He wants to help his people who are suffering through this pandemic, who've lost their businesses and their jobs. He has no plan to address us, but yet you don't vote for him. You ain't black.
Angela say this is so crazy. Trump got them about to get hurt because black folk ain't playing. Well, let me address that. And I need look, Big Daddy want to talk to you, Angela. Look, your Big Daddy want to talk to you. That's a lie. Why every time there's a Trump train that the 911 calls go through the roof like Flavor Flav on the other side of the phone? 911, man. We crying, we nervous, we scared. Look, man, ain't no killers on our side like talking about. Ain't nobody gonna jump out in the streets and handle their business like they talking about, man. Y'all, where the NFAC right now? Because when this shit pop off, you're gonna need something. Because all you killers sitting on here, you ain't gonna do nothing, man. You ain't gonna kill nothing, ain't gonna let nothing die. Let's get that straight. You ain't gonna do nothing. And it is what it is. And I think that it's a fight amongst them. It wasn't our responsibility to get Trump out of office. We didn't put him in there. And all this stuff, and I need for y'all, especially with the Latino community, I just told you how I felt about them as far as crying and complaining about anything when you went out there and voted overwhelmingly for Trump. You know, white women. Let's talk about y'all. Don't tell me nothing about this man screaming about grabbing by the pussy no more. Because y'all went and voted for the pussy grab. Y'all went and voted for the pussy grab. And black folk, you deserve every damn thing you get, because y'all can go. I watched it happen yesterday at the voting poll. You go into the WIC office that's in the same building where they voting, and you won't even go vote. Everybody is getting what they want. You know, we want what we want. No, we don't want quality schools. Let's get that straight. No, we don't. Because the people we can put in there to get them, we never put them in there. You don't want to get rid of food deserts. You don't want to get rid of the violence in your community. Because you keep putting failed politicians in office that ain't gonna address the issues. So people, and you know what? My girl Aisha called me today. She said, Monroe, you gotta run. I think I'm gonna have some fun. I think I'll run for school board next year. And you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not finna go broke fucking with that shit. I'm not buying no signs. I'm not buying no push cards. I think my name is strong enough. I think you know what I'm about. And guess what? I love the fact, and I know y'all don't know it, But Danita Williams beat Allison Drew last night in Fort Bend County to sit on the school board. Who is Danita Williams? Man, if y'all think y'all have seen some tapes of me in a school board meeting, go look at Danita. Straight up renegade, finna go up in there and give them the business. Finna give them the business. And I'm going to be rocking in the crowd with her. She ain't going to take it. It is what it is. They can't fire her. Y'all put her in there. Get ready for some fireworks. I think I'll run. But guess what I'm going to do? Every forum, every debate, I'm going to give it to your ass raw, just like I'm giving it to you tonight. Don't invite me to your forums and debates, because I'm not going to hold my fucking tongue. Black kids in the city of Houston are suffering at the highest rate in education that I have ever seen across this country. And a lot of people didn't understand years ago when I asked the question, Demetri and Donovan, have y'all done background on some of these people y'all hiring to bring up in here? They brought people from Chicago that had failed their school system and hired them in Houston. They started doing the same things in Houston that they were doing in Chicago. Who ran them out of town? Gary Monroe. So if you want me to run, I'm going to be a foul-mouthed, cigarette-smoking, shit-talking motherfucker on the campaign trail, and I ain't cutting no corners. Now the question is, what you going to do about it? That's my democracy. And I'll fight for mine tooth and nail. Some of y'all act like y'all care about us, and you really don't, man. Because if you did, you'd act in a different way. Stop complaining about what white folk got, because you ain't really ready to do what white folks do to make sure that they keep their shit straight.
Yeah, so I think it's silly for anybody to go broke personally behind trying to run for office. And I hate to say it, and you know, some people may get mad, but ain't no way in hell I'm spending my last dime to run for nothing trying to help black people. Okay, I'm good doing here. One thing I ain't gonna do is go broke behind, you know, hell to the dog. Please don't do that. But Michelle, she says that Trump is on suicide watch. Hell, yesterday y'all was on suicide watch. Y'all in the Biden crowd was on suicide watch. I seen it on the timeline. But I was like, damn, these mofos is really going through it. So the point is, pride comes before a fall. Don't jump the gun too soon. Wait till your candidate, you know, gets declared the winner before you do all that gloating. That's all I'm saying. You just now took the noose from around your neck a couple of minutes ago. Also, Kendrick, you say you would get rid of your guns if it would stop the violence. Why? Why would you get rid of your guns? White people ain't talking about getting rid of their guns. Dr. Claude Anderson says that black people are always sold and told the idea that, oh, you know, get rid of your guns, have the Turn In the Guns campaign. We're going to give you a grocery certificate for $15 if you turn in your guns. Don't you know guns are for your safety if they're used right? They're for your protection. What you going to do if this thing do jump off? You done gave up your guns. No, teach people why guns are important and also fix the issues in our community that causes people to use guns in a bad way, right? But, you know, you guys want to continue to vote for oppression, and so that is never going to change. And Joe Biden, under his Lift Every Voice plan, he's talking about gun control. Notice how when he addresses black people in that Lift Every Voice plan, he's talking about more crime reform, more crime.
Black issue is always crime. That's our issue. When you're talking about black folks, it's crime.
Right. So he's talking about more crime stuff, and that's very dangerous. And Ellen Davis, how you doing, Ellen Davis? I want to address you specifically. And no offense, I don't care if you take offense or not, but I want to say that off the rip. You are very ignorant and uninformed. You say, what have you asked the politicians for? What are your demands? If you have none, then don't expect none. See, it's people like you that should not watch to see your ass into a voting poll, because you gonna mess up the rotation for everybody else. As you saw me about 10 minutes ago, ratched behind me and got two books that have plans that have been addressed to politicians. This one was written in 1963, I think it was 1963, 1965. Okay, and we can go all the way back to the 1920s with Marcus Garvey. But here's one in more modern day times, Dr. Claude Anderson, Powernomics. Dr. Claude Anderson worked with the Carter administration, and he came up with the plan for affirmative action. So for you to say that no demands have been made upon politicians, you need to educate yourself. Please stop allowing idiocy to come out of your mouth when you don't have, like, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. You are defending things you have absolutely no knowledge of. And my last point, white women. So see, I take notes. I gotta take notes. White women, yes. White women, they are the ultimate deceiver. No shade to you white women, but you're the ultimate deceiver. You got everybody thinking, oh yes, I'm a ride or die. You know who they did? They put the biggest trick over, other than black men who, thinking they the prize. They put the biggest wool over the eyes of black women during feminism, during the liberation of women and stuff. They made black women think, oh yeah, we leaving our man together, girl. This man ain't no good. But you know what those white women did? They took their white asses home after the protest was over and put a hot ass casserole on the table for their white man. And then when he went to work, they went back out in the streets to play. See, they was playing, but it was black women that took that seriously. So I said all that to say is everybody's shocked that white women went and voted for Trump. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to do all they can to get together with their man and preserve what is theirs. And for them, it's white supremacy. It is to preserve their place in the world. But see, we as black people, we're the ones getting that wrong. You got black women mad at black men because some of them want to vote for Trump. They talk about holding the poop nanny, whatever, from their man if they go vote for Trump. And, no, we need to get on one accord so that we can fix our issues. So I get it, white women. I'm not mad at you. You did what you were supposed to do.
Arnetta Murray, I want to say congratulations to my sister. I've had the opportunity to work with her in the community on a lot of different, issues, where we taking care of the community. And she won last night. I think it was city council in Arcola. If I'm saying that wrong, forgive me. But I mean, this is a good sister that needs to be sitting somewhere high because she does the work every single day. Now, we don't ask anything of our public officials. And if you don't ask, you shouldn't say, well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I shouldn't have to beg for what my tax money has already paid for. I shouldn't have to ask for a quality education for African-American children when my tax money has already paid for it. I shouldn't have to deal with a corrupt system that steals from children, lines their pockets, and leaves our kids hanging with no technology, no qualified teachers, no decent administrators. No, I shouldn't have to ask for that, but I have asked for it. I shouldn't have to ask a city council person what you're going to do about the Office of Business Opportunity that's screwing the black contractors. I shouldn't have to ask the commissioner what you're going to do about the safety of the seniors in Southeast Houston that continuously get attacked. Old ladies, 99 years old, getting raped. I shouldn't have to put a plan to the mayor that can stop violence. And yet he doesn't address it. Doesn't want to fund the plan at $800,000 a year. But you put $3 million of art in the airport instead of doing that. Don't tell me what I ain't asked for. I asked for it, and I ask for it every single day. My question is, you'll give it to the other side of town, but you won't give it to us. And you know why they won't give it to us? Because they're really trying to run us out of our side of town. And they want to build affordable housing out in the suburbs and force you out there to create brand new suburban ghettos. So when you come to the table with the OG, I ain't never been scared to ask for anything. But what I ain't gonna do, I'm not finna beg for something that my tax money has already fucking paid for. I want my kids to get the same education in Southeast Houston that they get on the west side of town. Why is it that on the west side of town, you don't hear about them having a lack of computers with this virtual learning? But then on our side of town, you talking about we got to raise money. Private citizens have to raise money to get the technology our kids need. No, fuck no. Let's get it straight. You have agents, change agents in every city in America that continuously engage these politicians. But they have a plan to shut down Black America. And we will not even understand that it's real, especially my brothers and sisters that have made it. My mom wanted the same thing for me that yours wanted for you. They wanted us to get out the neighborhood, do something with ourselves. I got out the neighborhood, but I found myself coming back every day to help my people. So ain't no sense of me placating and faking. I can't help the hood if I ain't in the hood. So I came back to the hood. But to think that some of us don't ask, that's a goddamn lie. Donovan?
No, I'm reading some of the comments going through here, and it's just so funny that, I'm out here in California and they're talking about gentrification that's going on right there in Houston. The same exact thing has happened here in California. Our brother, Damian Jones from the Damian Jones podcast, he made a very, very good point last night. There is no way in hell that election for Texas should have been so damn close. Texas has been Republican for a very, very long time. And he made a good observation. He said that because it's so expensive to live here in California, a lot of Californians are leaving this state. Thank God, and God bless them, because you can't afford to live here. Demetra's one of them, recently transplanted out. And they're moving to Texas. They're moving back east. And, God bless them. And Demetra, I tell you, she can get something way bigger and better where she's at versus the snack pack $100,000 shack that you get out here in California. Okay. And that election, as more and more people from California are moving to Texas, you guys are on the tipping point of turning Texas blue, which is going to say that there's a lot of Californians moving, and Texas has a lot of land and a lot of stuff's going on. But what is the reason why Californian people are leaving? Cost of living and gentrification. Now, in the 90s, we talked about NWA, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, all stuff like that. If you go to Compton right now, you will see a lily white girl walking up and down the street with a Starbucks in her hand. We just got a brand new $4 billion Ram and Charger stadium right in Maxine Waters district. Part-time jobs, mind you, part-time, seasonal jobs. So I'm saying that to say this: what happens in Texas happens in California. What happens in California happens in New York. We as a people have to put the bullshit aside and start holding these bastards accountable. That is our tax dollars. Think about this. The pandemic hit. They pulled $3 trillion out of their ass with no study. How did they know that $3 trillion wouldn't crash the economy even further or even put us in the Stone Age? No, they just came up with the number and said, here's $3 trillion. Here you go. Our tax dollars are our tax. But why is it we as Black people feel that we have the audacity to ask them for what they make us pay for anyway?
My man Ice Blue say Houston is still one of the most affordable cities to live in. And Houston is one of the most dangerous cities to live in. This is why we were fighting to get change. This is why we were fighting to get change. And I was coaching Little League a few years back. Well, it's a long time. And Katrina happened. And my wife called me. She said, I got some cousins from New Orleans. They need somewhere to go. Can they come here? We living in the big house in the suburb. Hell no. I know your people. No. So we sitting in a board meeting one night. And them people like, man, we got to open the doors and we got to help people. And I say, man, y'all don't know nothing about them boys, man. I say, man, this is going to be crazy, man. Man, them people called the national office. They got upset with what I said. Houston has never been the same since Katrina. Now, with the situation with the wall and all these illegal immigrants, no matter if people get mad at me, our crime rate has gone through the roof. This is not a safe place. But when we're fighting to get people into the right positions, to deal with the safety aspect of this city. You people go out there and you vote for the wrong people. And now all of a sudden, when the shit pop off, Donovan, you get them calls. Demetri, one day you're gonna be big girl like me and Donovan. They'll call us before they call the police. But my thing is I'm tired of battling, going to crime scenes to make sure that the police don't handle our people bad because you wrongfully murdered one of our people. I've been at crime scenes at 3 o'clock in the morning. And you can best believe anytime there's a gang-related murder in this city, my phone automatically rings from law enforcement. So why should I keep doing this if y'all gonna keep going into the polls and voting in the wrong people? You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. We can't change our situation until we change the mindset of these grown-ups. You can't expect for these youngsters to get in line until you change the mindset of these grown-ups. But some of y'all, you know, it is what it is, man. You just don't get it. And I understand, you know, am I going to congratulate Joe? No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back and watch every one of you Negroes, and I'm going to call y'all out. When this dude start cutting up and ain't doing what he supposed to do, I expect for you Negroes to hold his funky ass accountable. It's not my responsibility because I didn't vote for him. But if you voted for him, I want to see you hold this bastard accountable. Because he's not going to do 99% of the shit that he said he's going to do. And as far as Ice Cube, my brother, I applaud you, but do not think that you are going to get a call back from the Biden campaign when they make him the president. Because all that ain't nothing but a bunch of fluff. They going to say whatever the hell they need to say. You Negroes going to fall in line with it and fucking with y'all, and it ain't gonna be me because I'll commit suicide before it happens. Y'all gonna be picking cotton in about 8 fucking years fucking with these people, man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you know, I wholeheartedly agree with you, Gary, in regards to why should you have to ask for what your tax dollars already paid for. But, you know, unfortunately, we like voting for oppression. We won't admit it, but we like oppression. We keep voting for the same old, and then have the black ass nerve to talk about, well, what are you doing about it? No, let's have a conversation with you and ask you, why do you keep voting for oppression and then want to turn it back around on people who didn't vote for oppression? That is your fault. And Ellen, I think Ellen Davis talked about, well, her and her black family, they doing all right. Well, good for you. You want a cookie or something? You're an exceptional Negro. You're an exceptional Negro. But you know what? That's why we don't make it as black people, because we're like, I'm doing okay. I don't know about the rest of you Negroes, but you know what? When this all comes down to it, your ass gonna be on the plantation too. So enjoy that little bit of freedom you got now. You doing all right. Your ass gonna be you picking cotton too, swinging low, sweet chariot, all that with the rest of us, because y'all keep going in the booths, making horrible decisions for the rest of us. And Gary, you said something I thought was very profound when you said the suburban ghettos, where they have all these low-income housing, and you know, we think that's I'm
Section 8
over there. Yeah, I'm gonna move over there. It's easy for me to get in. You know why they do that? Because they want to keep all the Negroes together so they can keep an eye on your ass, keep an eye on you, and keep your black ass from around them. Trump has said it, and Biden has said it. We trying to protect the suburbans so you can feel safe in suburbia. Who you think that you is? He talking to white people. He's talking against black people. We don't keep these Negroes from around you, so we gonna corral them all together so we know exactly where they are. They don't be no more white flight or y'all integrating into these neighborhoods that we done gentrified. But you know, when people really start to wake up, it's probably gonna be too late. And as far as those phone calls, I get those phone calls. I get them all the time. I just deal with it though. But
I think Joe should look at something else. And black people, you didn't comment when I said something about that 13th Amendment because you know I'm telling the truth. So Joe, every 25 years, and you mentioned that before, y'all vote to give us the right to vote. So Joe, can you go in there and give us the same right that you're going to give to illegal immigrants? Because you don't have to vote on the fact that they have to vote every 25 years. Can you fix that, Joe? Can you fix that? And I'm going to say this here. All black people ain't good. All black people ain't bad. All white people ain't good. All white people ain't bad. I met some good white parents, white moms, introduced them to my side of town, took them to schools, let them see. Now, would you send your child here? They say, hell no. They say, hell no. This is run like a minimum security prison. And I took them to several schools. They couldn't believe what they saw because some of them actually live in a bubble. They don't come to our side of town. But the one thing I respected about them is they put their boots on and they came to my side of those kids get to take what they call, you know, when they in their middle schools, they get to take a senior trip because that's their senior year of middle school. They came to our side of town, put their own money, raise some money just to give our kids the same thing. I want you to understand that why should white suburban parents come over here when we have elected officials who get funding from the state and from the federal government to make sure that our kids have everything, but it never makes it to our community. You know, a few years ago, they had a big thing where they wanted to put a gang injunction on a black community, South Lawn, that area over there on our side of town. Well, you had the Negro pastors and everybody, oh, we shouldn't do this. Gary Monroe went to city council and stood in front of that podium. And it's recorded. If you can find it, find it. Say, man, y'all might need to do that because y'all don't have a clue what y'all dealing with over there. Well, that was about 4 or 5 years ago. So can somebody from Houston tell me what the murder rate look like over there now? You didn't want to do it. But what the murder rate look like over there now? Hey, come on, man. We got to stop playing, man. And we can't keep blaming all of our indiscretions on these white folk, man. I don't wake up in the morning depending on anybody but me, let alone depending on a white politician or a white person to fix my situation. I have to fix my situation every single day. I have to do that. And I think if we spend more time doing that, then we will accomplish the goal of trying to fix Black America. But the myth, we need to come together. We need our own party. You Negroes not going to let that happen. That ain't white folk that's going to stop that. Y'all ain't going to let that happen. Because you know if it happens, some of y'all ain't going to get that illegal money under the table no more. That these folks feeding you to make sure that we stay separated. Donovan?
What? This good white man? Where you going to get a better job than you get here? Where you going to get a better house than you get here? Y'all must be crazy to leave this plantation. But in all seriousness, my girl Angela, you know, she said some good comments, as she usually does. But here's the thing. See, Biden's going to be president. Harris is going to be president. One thing the white man knows is there's a formula to dealing with Negroes. Okay? The formula is this. I'm the president. I would have liked to have done this stuff for you. I need you guys to re-elect me, get me back into office where I'm going to be a lame duck because the Senate is obstructing me. I can't get anything done for you guys. I would love to give you reparations. So for all you folks that keep sending these racist white soldiers in control of our dollars and our cents and getting things done, this is the excuse they're going to give you for why they can't do anything specifically for a group of American citizens that delivered them the White House. 80%. Somebody please name me another group in the United States that gave 80% of their population to one party. Doesn't happen, only in the Black community. So he's going to get in there and say, well, I couldn't, Mitch McConnell did this, or this was done. Oh, I had to build the middle class. So after 4 years of Biden, he's going to come to you again, just like the Democrats always do every 2 years. They give out their turkeys and stuff. You see them every 2 years. They don't see them. Then they push out a moving car, just like Obama did. That's the formula. You come back and you say, hey, I didn't see you guys this time. Reelect me. You Negroes, not learning anything, loving symbolism, are going to put these people back in the office. And then the Republicans are going to take over, which we know they ain't going to do a damn thing for us. Then we got to go through this whole process, and we keep going through the whole process over again. Why can't we try something different? And like I said, for those of you that voted for Biden, God bless you. But I hope you're right, because I don't see in any way, with the way this election has panned out, how he or anybody is going to get any legislation done for Black people. He's going to get shit done for white people, but he definitely ain't going to get nothing done for Black people. We once again are going to have to sacrifice.
Andrea Davis said, like they did Obama, they only let him do so much. Baby, you just spoke a mouthful. You motherfuckers in Kentucky that just dealt with Breonna, you didn't handle your business, because the dude that really run the country ain't went nowhere. And I'm telling you, Biden will be a true figurehead, just like Obama, because Mitch McConnell ain't finna give 1 inch. It ain't gonna happen. And you think, well, Joe Biden might do something. I don't live in the might world no more. Get it fucking done. When you go to work every day, your boss expects for you to get it done. And if you don't get it done, you lose your job. Why don't we hold these folks to the same standard? He's not going to do anything. You get your symbolism. We'll be back here in 4 years with this same BS, preaching the same sermon, same Negro pastor, same politicians, vote all blue, and we're going to be thoroughly fucked again. But then guess what? I think at that time, Donovan, we'll be about 8 years short of being a slave. Say, man, Joe can't do what Mitch McConnell is not going to allow him to do. So y'all can get ready for that shit. It ain't going to happen.
Like we always say, politics is local. Who you send to Congress to bring back the bacon for your district is all that matters. Even Obama said it last week when he was stomping for Biden. He said, voting a president, that ain't going to get a lot of shit done. You got to down ballot. You got to vote your interest down ballot. That's what Obama said. Your hero. Obama said down ballot. Just voting in a president ain't going to get shit done for you. Demetra?
Yeah, and Andra, you say Black Wall Street needs to happen. Yeah, it definitely needs to happen, but there's a lot of, not us, but those exceptional Negroes. They feel like they got their own personal Black Wall Street. Well, I need to unify with y'all for. There's some people who don't want that to happen because they're too busy chasing after Master's butter biscuits. What I want to go Black Wall Street for, I'm okay. Master feeds me good. It gives me butter biscuits whenever I help him out, so I would love to see a Black Wall Street, but I'm just one of those people, and I'll be honest with you, I lose hope a lot in us as a race because we just don't want to do better. We think we're already doing better. We don't see all there is to see. It's not because it's hiding. We just don't want to see it. We want to be under that illusion of inclusion, as my guy Jonelle says all the time. We just want to be included, and we think that's when we've made it. So we don't want another Black Wall Street. We got fooled by civil rights. When civil rights happened, our neighborhoods became unglued. They were no more because we wanted to go be with them. And so should a Black Wall Street happen? Yeah, it should happen. But I think those days are long gone because, for one, we as a Black people, and I know I'm being a little bit negative now, but sometimes y'all get on, not y'all, but some people get on my nerves. But we don't have the heart that they had back then. Our heart now pumps Kool-Aid. Okay, we afraid of everything. Well, what if boss or massa? What if we, you know, they wasn't afraid back then. We don't got that kind of heart. We don't got that kind of fight in us no more. We're comfortable and we just lay down and take it. So I mean, maybe, but it's a strong maybe not. Maybe tomorrow I'll feel a little bit differently, but Negroes don't want any better than what we have or don't have. So
Angela say, Big Daddy, you need to run for president. Let me tell you why that ain't gonna work, baby. Let Big Daddy tell you why that ain't gonna work. I'm too raw for MTV and I'm too black for BET. That ain't gonna work. I'm not gonna denounce the minister. I'm not gonna stop. I'll be in the middle of a presidential debate smoking a cigarette. I don't give a fuck. Everything that I would try to push down the pipe would be black. Because the only way you're gonna fix it is if your levels are like this, and I'm the president and this lower level is black, I'm only working on this side right now to get us up to speed. So from an economic standpoint, I would want to close the economic gap. That's the first thing I want to do. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I need to, as the president, I want to eliminate these programs that keep you dependent on the government and keep you poor. Let's get something straight. I believe that instead of you sitting in the fucking house waiting on some fucking food stamps when you're perfectly able to get your black ass out there and go to work, why don't we create some shit for you to start your own business? Let's put some more, let's bring this manufacturing back to the United States of America. You see what I'm saying? Let's put some jobs back here. Now it's time for you to get up every single morning. Since you want to punch the clock and you don't want to start your own business, you're gonna have to go to work fucking with money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I used to tell my employees, and we worked in the food industry and in stadiums with contracts. Any day that I finish a job and my apron looks dirtier than yours, and I'm the boss, then I don't need you. If I'm working harder than the employees, then I don't need you. They ain't gonna want me, Angela, because I'm gonna want black schools to succeed. I'm gonna want highly qualified black teachers in black schools. Did you hear what I just said? Because I believe that the other people don't have the patience to deal with our babies. I want to make sure that my special ed kids get the best education that they can get. I'm not Betsy DeVos. I want to tell you why they don't want me. Because this high stakes testing across the board, I would write an executive order that get rid of it all right now. Because you're not educating our kids with those tests. Those tests are designed to close schools. So before you ask Big Daddy to do something, I need you to go do some research on it. I'm not the dude that marches to the beat of a political drum. And somebody said earlier, this is all politics. Well, when I show up at a murder scene at 3 o'clock in the morning, ain't nobody talking about Biden and Trump. This shit real life, man. It's real life. When a kid go to school, and I didn't have to go to houses after school. Kid leave to go to school and come home, and they mom and daddy both in jail. It's real. This ain't politics, baby. And it's more people living that way than it is with you professional Negroes living in the suburbs, living that candy apple life.
Andra, and I hope I'm saying your name right. Forgive me if I'm not. You say, so what's the remedy? War zone. First of all,
money.
Well, even before,
black people lack money.
Even before we get to money, we got to realize that we are so ununified. Once we realize that we have no unity, that's a start. And then realizing we need to unify, right? We got to stop having these big schisms going against our better interests. As Dr. Claude Anderson said, we're the only group of people, race of people that vote against our better interests as a block. We need to realize, as Dr. Joy DeGruy says, we are not well. we still suffer from post-traumatic slave disorder. We are not well. And I'm not trying to be mean or, you know, condescending or negative. We're just not well. We don't realize how bad it is for us. So that's the remedy. First of all, we got to realize we're not well and then work toward getting that. Because as Jonelle also says, you protect what you love. The other part of that is we don't have a love of our own people. We don't love Black people at all. Every other community, whether they get along or not, when it's something that is going to affect them as a whole, they get together and they iron out their differences after they get to what they need. But we won't do that. And then, yeah, then comes the money, because when you protect what you love, you don't give away all of your resources to everybody else. You keep that. And as Dr. Muhammad said a couple of months ago when he was on the show, he says, without money or an economy, we can't even begin to play in politics. So yeah, those are the remedies. But first, you know, for those of y'all who go to church, it says, my people were destroyed for their lack of knowledge and their rejection of truth. So when we get the truth, we reject it. Oh, no, I don't want to hear no Joe Biden. He's my savior. Oh, no, he's going to help Black people. Then we're going to get him into the White House. And then we're going to hold him accountable. Stop lying to kick it. You ain't going to hold him accountable once he gets to the White House. You've never held anybody accountable. And for those of y'all in that comment section, name one way y'all going to hold Joe Biden accountable. You ain't got nothing Joe won't. How you going to hold him accountable? You're just bumping your gums because that's what you've been told to say. Oh, when they say, you know, well, what am I going to, you know, Joe Biden ain't going to do nothing for you. Well, tell him they ain't going to hold him. We're going to hold him accountable. You're lying. And surely you don't believe that. And so what's the remedy? We have to realize we're not well. We have to get well, and then we got to love ourselves, and we have to have knowledge of self. We got to realize that Black people are the greatest to ever do it. You define it, whatever that is. We're the greatest to ever do it, but we act so bent over and then allowing everybody else to bend us over. And then you get mad at three people like us for trying to bring consciousness. Get mad to people in the comment section for trying to bring consciousness and awareness. You get mad at us because we are disturbing your comfort zone. So that's why I said, I hate to say it tonight, and I've been this way before. I just don't have a lot of hope for us as a group of people. I said this the other day. I think us conscious people, we need to go off and form our own group. Just cut off from the rest of them and just form our own group. And maybe populate and do our thing somewhere. So I don't know. That's just kind of where I am.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, it's just like what Jonelle is saying here. Black people, we give away $1.73 trillion annually. So we have money, but we give it away. 90% of it, we just trick it off. Hair, nails, Jordans, Mercedes, even though we live in an apartment. You know, just stuff, until we realize what is going on to us. Okay, Biden is now the president. The Democratic Party, who's supposed to be the savior of Black people, have done so much for Black people. We are less than 12 years away from being slaves. That's according to Democratic candidate Andrew Yang, who said that last year. So let's do the math. 12 minus 1, 11 years. Oh, there was no pandemic then. Nobody thought a lot of you guys would lose your jobs. So let's knock off another 4 years. Oh, you're not going to be asked back to your job. So you might not get a job. AI is taking over everything. So let's not. We're at 7 years, if not less, of having zero wealth. You have no wealth. That means you are a slave. We should be in panic mode. We should be saying, Democratic Party, we need this. We demand this. Because if not, we are going to survive. Those guns that we don't have, people are going to get guns somehow, because the human nature in any animal is survival. And when you don't have anything, if the Black community itself doesn't have any wealth, where do you think we're going to go survive? We're going to go to the suburbs where the white folks are at and we're just not going to give a damn. We're just going to go ahead, take whatever drugs we need. So when those bullets start hitting our body, we won't feel a damn thing. We should be in panic mode right now. But no, we give these people a pass and we say, yeah, while he helps his people, Donald Trump helped his people. Joe Biden said, I'm going to worry about the middle class. There is no middle class. 2007 got rid of the middle class. So what's he talking about? That is code word for I'm going to help white people get back on their feet. I'm going to give your tax dollars that you black people pay, the prison industrial complex that's built on our backs. We go to jail, people make money off of it. Everything we do, people make money off of us. But we're going to help them rebuild their community, and we can't keep our damn community together. Y'all better wake up, because this shit is real.
Saul Gillespie, faithful viewer, brother, you don't know how much this statement is so true. Accepting the bag is dangerous. So let's look at the Democratic side. When you accept all this free shit that they giving you, it's not free. It's not free. There are strings attached to it. When you accept this free shit, people have always asked me, and after I started researching in the very beginning, I didn't even know what I was thinking about. I say, well, Democrats want you to get, Republicans want you to get money. They want you to build businesses. They don't want you to pay high taxes. And then I thought about it just at the very beginning. So as I've been going on years later, I still stuck with this comment. I say, well, the Democrats create programs that keep you dependent on the government, and it keeps you poor. So which one of y'all want to debate me? Now, somebody, like Angela said, I'm not mad, we're just debating. Well, see, debating to me is like being in a rap battle. You don't know me. I'm one of the most accomplished rappers you've ever laid your eyes on. But I've never been in a rap battle. Because if we're not talking the same points in the middle of that battle, then that's a waste of my time. So when I want to debate with somebody, you have to have the same level of knowledge that I have to clearly understand that the Republicans, they are who they are. But your worst enemy is your Democratic politicians. They are the ones that are crippling us. They are the ones that won't fight for us. But you can't see that. You don't want to see that. And I get it. You want Trump out of office. Let him go. But goddamn, dog, could you give us something better than this clown? Could you give us something better than this clown? No, you couldn't, because you have an agenda. And this clown is going to make your agenda come true. And by the time he's done, and you people do not hold him accountable, we gonna be in some shit, and that water gonna be up to here. And we gonna have problems then. See, the house, you can't come into the game when the house is on fire. Our house has been on fire for 400 years. And we still ain't woke up yet. You still running to the sink and getting a pail of water trying to fight this 4-alarm fight. No, you ain't got to do that. And as far as people thinking that the Democrats are your friend in Harris County, how y'all feel now that you put Turner back in office? He the black man. He ain't doing shit. Don't give a fuck about the black community. But y'all will sit there and applaud this clown all day long. And that man don't give a damn about the black community. It's obvious. You won't deal with gun violence, but you put some fucking bike trails in our community. What the fuck gonna be riding bikes where we live? That shit that ain't happening no more, homeboy. But they putting the bike trails. When you see the bike trails come, you're gonna see the nice grocery store come. You're gonna see them rebuild the toe down school, because they doing all of it for the people they really want there. They don't want you there. As long as you were there, they wouldn't do nothing. But as soon as they start doing that, you can best believe Becky with the long hair will be walking the dog at 9 o'clock at night through your community.
She's going to be walking the dog and mad because your black ass is there in her way in your community. You see how y'all think Barbecue Becky got started? That was a, you know, black neighborhood, and she walking her poodle through the park and mad because they got some barbecue smoke coming off the damn barbecue grill. Caused all that commotion. It's gonna be a Becky in a neighborhood near you, in every neighborhood. But not that that's necessarily all our fault, but we contribute to it by electing the same old people. Maxine Waters said that you should never forgive black people for voting for Trump. But should people forgive her for allowing those neighborhoods to be gentrified? Should she be forgiven? Or should she get a pass? And we gonna keep giving her a pass. I mean, I'm sure she won her election. I haven't heard that she hasn't, but I'm sure she won her election, and she probably won it overwhelmingly to continue doing more of nothing. Continue gentrifying our neighborhoods.
Kendrick has
30 years plus.
You didn't vote for Dem or Republican. What exactly did you gain? Let me say this slow for you. The same thing that you gained, my brother. Not a goddamn thing. And 4 years later, you ain't gonna get a goddamn thing.
Exactly. I put that up in the comments. Somebody asked me a question. They go, well, you know, you voted and you didn't get anything. Well, who's the fool? I voted for a party that isn't in power, that possibly could have given me something. You're voting for a party that is in power and won't give you nothing. So who's the bigger fool?
Was he serious? What did you gain?
We didn't gain anything.
He thought that was that.
We haven't gained anything either. And the scary part about all of this here, the gloating that people are doing right now, thinking Joe got it wrapped up. Say, man, even if he wins, you are going to see a ton of people go to jail for voting fraud, because Trump is not going to walk out of there unless he gets some people to go before they try to get him. And the sad part about it, the people we are celebrating, especially in Harris County, bro, ain't no goddamn way I will ever shake these people's hands. It's no way I will take a picture with them after knowing what these people have done to my community. It will never happen. Now, I will shake my brother, Brad Jordan, Mr. Scarface. He had a true plan. That man was going to take his own money and send kids to Houston Community College to take trade classes if that's what they wanted to do to get off the streets. What other politician offered that? What other politician offered that? See, this is what you have to do. You're either going to be a politician or a public servant. And a public servant will stay in office forever. But a politician, they come and go, bro. I just need us to wake up. And some of us, and I will say that a lot of black people have woken up. It's obvious. Look at the numbers in Texas. It's obvious. And more importantly, with everything that Trump has done, why in the hell is this shit so close right now? Why is it not over right now? If Joe was such a fucking slam dunk, remember what I told y'all? And people were going to go in that vote or go in that booth, and they were going to do what they have to do. And I'll leave this right here for you. Now we understand why early balloting across the country was being pushed so hard. You notice how I leaned up on you? Because that was the game the whole goddamn time. I get it. But I tell you what, black people, when you are in federal court, they don't treat you the same as that white boy that got the same situation going on. Some of you black folk are going to go to jail for a very long time. Final thoughts, Ms. Demetra.
Yeah, so I mean, it's still not over. It's close, but it's not over yet. So I mean, I don't know about all this gloating you're doing. I mean, I would hate for Trump to win and then you be back on suicide watch again. So just, you know, just wait for it. You know, humble yourself. But you know, for all of y'all who think you gained something because Biden may get in the office, you fooling yourself. You ain't gained nothing. You know, and Kendrick, you say you something about equality, you want equality, and you don't want nobody to give you something. You do want, everybody else wants somebody to give them something. You go into a store and give them your money. Don't you want them to give you something for it? Same thing is true for a vote. And she is loyal from YouTube. You say, I don't know exactly who voted for who. I see nothing y'all did wrong. And I would say none of us voted for Biden or Trump. We don't have a dog in the fight. We didn't vote. We voted, but not for them because we didn't want to be forced to voting for the lesser two evils. And I still stand on 10 toes behind that. I don't regret my decision at all. I wasn't going to get involved in that. So, and I would do it again if, you know, we have nobody worthy of choosing from. So we'll see. It's still out, but we'll see what'll happen tomorrow.
Absolutely. I'm going to give out a bold prediction. It looks like, from my political analysis, Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States. For those of you that voted for him, congratulations. You picked the person that won the election. Now the question is, what are they going to do? Oh, I got 4 years of fixing what Trump messed up. I got to fix this first before I deal with you guys. I got to do this. I got to fix the standing in the world. We're going to hear all of this. All of that. And Black people, we are going to be in the same position we've always been in, at the very bottom. But at the end of the day, you voted for who you wanted to vote for. We voted for who we wanted to vote for. Don't let somebody shame you into how you wanted to vote. It's your vote. If you want to take on it, wipe your ass with it, and then throw it out the window. You have every right to do that. So again, in 2 more years, there's going to be another election. The resume that you need to judge these servants by is when you walk out your door and you see the trash, the potholes, the trucks, the warehouses, the crime. That's what you should be voting for, not to be Mr. Popular and I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, I'm a Laker fan, I'm on a bandwagon fan. Whoever's winning, that's the team I want to be on. It ain't about winning and losing. We're dealing with people's lives here. Black folks, we are less than 12 years from a slave. Everybody talks about, well, I ain't no damn slave. Well, get fucking ready, because both these parties are putting you on the fast track back to Mr. Steven. And I used to make Demetra laugh all the time. I said, who you with? Who that? This nigga in the big house? That's exactly what's going to happen.
I'll leave you with this. I don't know about you, but I'm woke. And I ain't going back to sleep. And I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep educating. I'm going to keep helping the good ones. And it is what it is, whether you like it or not. The truth is what you're going to get every single night on the war zone. It may be hard to swallow, but it is what, see, this black conversation we have every night, this is the one we should be having at the barbershop, because it's going to be real every single night. And I know, Angela, when you get off the show, I know you think about Big Daddy and you just like, man, that dude is so right, but I can't let people know he right. It's all right. I've been there before. I still love you. I still love you. But I will tell you this here. When the time come and they say we slaves, guess what old Big Daddy gonna do with you? Because you're gonna be with me. Massa, you can sell her. I stay. Say another spirited discussion from the best in the business. Want to send a shout out to my people that's won last night. It's the war zone, baby. What you thought was gonna happen? And for the ones that did not win, we live to fight another day. We live to fight another day. I want to thank my good friend, Donovan Sadiq, the Queen, Demetra K. And I am the 5-star general. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, Warzone morning show. I'm going off, baby. I'm going off. So make sure you tune in and download the app. It's going to be what it needs to be. Until tomorrow. We'll holler at you.